Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Hunter Training Garage. Today we're going to take a look at the Hunter ADASLink scan tool. This is a diagnostic scan tool that features the ability to reset ADAS systems on our vehicle, look at live data, perform bidirectional special tests. It's secure gateway compatible and also features a VCI that is capable of reprogramming vehicle modules. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at our ADASLink here. Before we do that, let's hook up our VCI to our vehicle so we can get that connected here to our scan tool. So now that we've taken our first step of hooking up our VCI to the vehicle's DLC port, let's go ahead and take a look at the main menu here on ADASLink. So on our main menu, there's going to be three buttons we want to take a look at today. First being the Diagnostics button, second the Requested Procedures list, and third, Saved Reports. So in the case of using Requested Procedures, if we're using ADASLink in conjunction with an alignment machine such as the Hunter Hawkeye Elite or the Hunter Ultimate ADAS, we can use the Requested Procedures list to find those requested ADAS procedures that we've selected on the aligner. For Saved Reports, we can go and use Saved Reports to find information from previous vehicles that we've done with our ADASLink. So this will give us our documentation from any of the ADAS procedures we've done or any of the special tests that we've done with any of the modules on the vehicle. Finally, our Diagnostics button. This is where we're going to go to identify the vehicle that we're working on. And it's going to give us the ability to use the ADASLink as a full function diagnostic scan tool. ADASLink will give us a couple different options on how we want to select the vehicle that we're working on. Our first option being Auto ID, which will ping the modules on the vehicle to pull the VIN and identify the vehicle that way. We also have the option for manual selection, which uses the year, make, and model information to identify the vehicle. We can also use the Recent Vehicles button. We can also search by the 17-digit VIN there on that bottom search box as well. So for today, we're going to use Auto ID. This will automatically ping the module on the vehicle to pull up the VIN and identify the vehicle that way. And you can see we have the VIN up here on the top right-hand corner, and then identify the vehicle as our 2020 Ford Escape Titanium Hybrid. So we'll go ahead and select that and confirm that's the vehicle working on. You'll see it'll say please cycle ignition down here on the bottom, so we can cycle the ignition in the vehicle. So now that we're on our diagnostic screen, let's explore some of the menus. So on our diagnostic screen, we're going to take a look at a few of the different menu options. We'll start up here at the top. Read DTCs. So DTC stands for Diagnostic Trouble Code. So this is where we can go in and we can select all of our different modules here on the vehicle, and we look at those trouble codes that are possibly stored in any of these other modules. So we can go and be as simple as looking at just the powertrain control module, or we can come up here and select all if we want to take a look at all the different modules here on this particular vehicle. And if we want to, we can select individual modules as a group. So let's just say I want to select the powertrain control module, the battery energy control module here on our Ford Hybrid, and maybe we want to take a look at the ABS traction control module as well too. So I can select just those three, click continue. So ADASLink might ask me for a little bit of information here about the repair order number, odometer for the vehicle, if I have a technician ID, customer name, and this is all customizable and optional as well too. So I don't have to collect this information if I don't want to. So we'll go ahead and hit continue for today. And you can see this starts our diagnostic trouble code scan. So ADASLink is going to go ahead and pull up those modules and start scanning those modules for diagnostic trouble codes. And you can see right away we've got a couple trouble codes here in the powertrain control module. And once we're finished with that scan, ADASLink is going to go ahead and create a diagnostic report for that as well. And something else we can do on this menu is we can look at the topology view as well. So we can kind of see where those modules are at on those CAN bus systems and the communication network on the vehicle. So if we want to see a little bit more information about the DTCs that were found, we can go ahead and click on the individual module. And we can see we've got a couple codes there. In this case, these are history codes that are still stored in the module. And we're looking at that ABS traction control module. We can see there's a couple pending codes there as well. And let's say we want to go ahead and clear these codes as well while we're in our menu here. So we can go up here to the top to clear DTCs. And this is where we can go ahead and clear those. We can go ahead and clear those codes out if we so choose. And we can do a clear only mode or a clear and reread, where we'll go ahead and rescan the modules as well. That's handy if we know we've already completed our repair on the vehicle and we want to go ahead and clear the diagnostic trouble code and verify that that code does not come back. So we'll go ahead and just click clear only for today. And you can see ADASLink is going to go ahead and prompt us to cycle the ignition on the vehicle. So we'll go ahead and do that. And ADASLink will go ahead and finish up clearing those DTCs in each of those modules. So on ADASLink, we finished our diagnostic trouble code scan. We've cleared out those codes. Now we can go back to our diagnostics menu and take a look at some of the other options. So back on our diagnostics menu here in the middle column, we've got data stream. So we'll go ahead and select that. This is where we can go in and look at that live data from the vehicle. You can see we've got all sorts of different modules here with this particular Ford that we can integrate with ADASLink. Look at that live data coming from those modules. For today, we're going to go select the powertrain control module. We'll click continue. So you can see here in the powertrain control module, since we're pulling a lot of information from that particular module, we have all the live data broke up into different categories. So we can see I can go here and take a look at just kind of our emissions focused live data as well. Move down into kind of more the engine data as well. Moving into our fuel system, our O2 sensors. In this particular case, with this being a Ford hybrid, we've got information there kind of broke up into just a hybrid data category. And let's say I just want to pull up everything. I can stay right up here to the top. I can go to all data items, click select, and load up all the different content here for our PCM. So when selecting live data from data stream, ADASLink offers the ability to view that information in two different categories, either as a vertical scrolling format or a horizontal scrolling format. So you can cater the information to your own viewing preferences. So on our live data screen here, we have a lot of information that we can pull out from the powertrain control module. So let's grab a couple easy ones. Go ahead and grab the manifold absolute pressure sensor. We'll scroll down a little bit and grab our throttle position and go find our intake air temperature. And there we go, there's our intake air temperature. We'll select that, click continue. And there we go, ADASLink gives us our live data screen here where we've got our 3 data points that we want to take a look at. And we can see the live readout for each one of those as well. So let's say I want to take a look at these in more of an expanded view. I can come up here to the expand button and click that. And I can view each of those individual data points there as either a line graph, as you see there now, or I can change this to a bar graph setting, or I can even just select just the digital output of that as well too. So you can see there on the intake air temp, we're at 79 degrees, which is about ambient air for us here in the shop. Let's go ahead and put it back there to line graph. Now let's say I've got some other information I want to add to our data feed here as well too. So I can actually go to filter data. Right here from our live data page, I can actually select and add more information here as well. So if there was something I missed or something additional that I want to add into this, I don't necessarily have to back all the way up to the main menu. I can just grab what I need here from our list right here within that live data page. So let's go ahead and take a look at, let me just add the short-term fuel trim data in as well too. And you can see ADASLink, go ahead and add that short-term fuel trim data there, right there up at the top as well too. So let's say I want to take a look at some information over a period of time. ADASLink also gives me the ability to record live data as well. I can do that down here by clicking on this little red circle. and we'll start the record button. You can see down there at the bottom, we've got recording live data. And I can let this roll out here while I'm maybe underneath the, under the hood of the car, diagnosing something going on with the engine, if I need to test anything and look at live data at the same time. Or maybe I want to take the vehicle out on a test drive to maybe diagnose a customer's drivability concern with the vehicle. I can have the ADASLink hooked up and recording live data while I'm out on that test drive without the need of having another person there in the vehicle looking at that live data. So when we're done recording, we'll hit the stop button down here on the bottom left again. Now that information there is saved, and I can come up here to the playback button, click playback, and I can see we recorded information from the powertrain control module. That was just 0 minutes ago. That's our last 83 frames that we just recorded there. And we can see previous examples of playback information as well too. And now I got that recording playing here. We can see that progression there at the bottom of the screen. And we'd be able to see our information here change as we were out driving the vehicle or doing any kind of test on the engine under the hood as well. So when I'm done with that, we'll go ahead and click the pause button, and I can go up here to more. And let's say I want to go ahead and just kind of clear out my recordings. I can come up here to erase all recordings, and that will go ahead and wipe out that memory and push me back to the data stream menu. So now that we've taken a look at our data stream, let's go ahead and go back to our diagnostics menu and take a look at a couple of the other menu options. So now back on our diagnostics menu, we've got our requested procedures list button here on the right-hand side. And again, that's if we're going to use ADASLink in conjunction with the integration with Hunter Hawkeye Elite or the Hunter Ultimate ADAS system. So let's take a look at our All Special Tests menu. So we'll select All Special Test. And this is where we can select different modules to perform different tests within the module as part of our diagnostic process. So we'll select our powertrain control module, click Continue. And let's say, for example, I have an issue with the active grille shutter here on this Ford Escape. So I can go to active grille shutter. I can select that particular special test. Again, ADASLink will ask me for some information here in regards to repair order number, odometer, tech ID. Again, that's optional. So for today, we're just going to click Continue and skip over that. And now here in the special test instructions, we have some information here that we'll follow and adhere to. So in this case, we want the engine to not be running. So we'll hit Continue to acknowledge that. And now we can see we can go ahead and start our test of that active grille shutter. So we'll click Start, and we can increase the position of that grille shutter. And we can see we get a corresponding response there on the percentage of that grille shutter being closed. And we see we can continue to increase that through the full range of that active grille shutter position, all the way up there to 100%. And we can decrease that all the way back down to 0. So I can use that as a quick, simple test to see if the module is commanding the grille shutter open or closed, and verify some of my circuitry there. So we'll click Exit. That'll take us back to our special test menu there for the PCM. And we can see we have a lot of other categories here that we can select special tests from as well too. So just for another quick example, we can do a special test here for the engine cooling fan speed. And of course, there's always those evap emissions tests available as well too. So we'll go on back here to our diagnostics menu. So we'll hit the back button here. And from here in the middle, we have our special test shortcuts button, which we can select that. So this is very similar to the special test menu we were just on, but this kind of brings everything up to an easy to find menu for kind of your common special tests and special services. So right there at the top, we have those ADAS adjustments. So anytime we might need to take this vehicle out on a test drive to recalibrate that front camera, we can go and select that right there from that menu. But maybe something a little bit more common, with this particular car we have an electronic parking brake. So anytime we're doing brake service, we may need to put that parking brake into a service mode. So we can select that brake service button there. So here in this menu we have some information on the different calibration modes we might be able to put the vehicle in during that brake service. So you can see we've got that electronic integrated parking brake service tools here. So we can select that. So in this case, if we were working on the braking system on this vehicle, we could actually go in and put that that parking brake into its service mode. And we see right here at the top, enter maintenance mode. And this gives us some information here about kind of our pre-existing conditions for setting that parking brake into the maintenance mode. Okay, so we can follow through on the information there to do that test. So we'll go back here to our integrated parking brake menu. We'll go down here to the bottom, click exit. And let's go ahead and take a look at our next menu item here, our enhanced vehicle scan. So with our enhanced vehicle scan option here in the menu, we'll go ahead and select that. What that's going to do is very similar to that read DTCs option. We're going to look at all the modules and pull out any of those diagnostic trouble codes. But also we're going to go a step further and look at some of those readiness monitors for the emission system on the vehicle as well too. So we can see we start the scan, we'll go through and take a look at our restraint modules and different gateways, instrument clusters, so on and so forth there. So as the ADASLink's doing its scan, if we take a look and scroll down here to the bottom, you can see there we've got information on the readiness monitors test, some freeze frame data, the oxygen sensors. So as the ADASLink completes our enhanced vehicle scan here, once all the information has been read, ADASLink's going to take all that information and compile it into one piece of documentation that will include all of our findings from all the modules for our diagnostic trouble codes, but also include information for the readiness monitors as well too. So now that we've completed our enhanced vehicle scan, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other options here on our diagnostic menu. So here on the left-hand column, we've got our diagnostic information button. So we'll select that. And from here, one of the more important things to note in this menu is our repair source button. So if we select that, that'll take us into repair source, which is essentially Bosch's service information database. Once we're on the screen, we're going to automatically hotlink our 2020 Ford Escape Hybrid as seen up here at the top. So that's already pre-selected for us. And over here on the left-hand side, we have our menu of our different maintenance items here. So let's say we're going to stick with the common theme of brake service for this vehicle. We can click on brakes, and if I need to know what the brake bleed procedure is for this Ford Escape Hybrid, I can click on brake bleed procedure in sequence, and I can see here that that sequence is going to start in the right rear, move over here to the left rear, up to the front right, and then to the left front. So over here on the side menu, we have lots of other information here as well too. So let's say I need to know a little bit about maybe something simple like the cabin air filter replacement. So I can select that. I can see I've got some steps here to replace that air filter for this vehicle. We can see under normal operating conditions it should be replaced every 20,000 miles. So it gives us some time frame there for that maintenance repair as well too. Also for something like the engine oil, if we're doing some basic maintenance here with the engine, we can see what our capacities are for, again, for this titanium hybrid. We can see our oil capacity is 5.7 quarts there, and that oil fluid type is that 0W20 viscosity. So repair source can be a very handy tool if you are looking just for kind of that basic maintenance information for the vehicle. Anything from fluid capacities, oil types, torque specifications, kind of that basic information you would need on a daily basis right here at your fingertips with ADASLink. So back on our diagnostics menu, let's go ahead and take a look at our next item, our wiring diagrams. So here in the middle column, we'll select wiring diagrams. This is an add-on piece to the ADASLink software that we can opt into. And what this is going to do, similar to repair source, is it's going to automatically hotlink that 2020 Ford Escape Hybrid. And this is where we can go and select different categories and look at the wiring diagrams for different systems on the car. So let's go ahead and select this cooling fan circuit. Let's say we need to trace down a connector or a certain color wire for that circuit for that front cooling fan. So we can go ahead and we can zoom in here, make this page a little bit bigger, and we can zoom in on that diagram, and we can see here for that particular wire right here, that is going to be a green-blue wire, and that's going to be leading up to that fuse there, coming out of that engine cooling fan relay there. That, in this case, should be hot at all times, so should be receiving battery voltage all the time. So we can use this as a really nice tool, again, right here at your fingertips on the ADASLink for looking at different wiring diagrams throughout the vehicle in a nice, clean, orderly fashion. These wiring diagrams really are top-notch in that they make it pretty clear and easy to trace down where those different connectors are at and where our relays are, what should be receiving power, what goes to ground. So it can be very handy for the technician who's doing a lot of electrical work on a customer's vehicle. So once again, back on our diagnostic screen, let's take a look at our next menu item, our Enhanced OBDII. So here on our menu, we'll select Enhanced OBDII here on the right-hand side. And what this is essentially just a generic OBDII tool. So this is going to allow us to take a look again at those readiness monitors on the vehicle and really nothing more. If we're just maybe checking out a vehicle to see if the emission systems are working properly, if we are looking for the different readiness monitors to be completed, this is a great tool we can use very quickly to kind of get a glimpse as to what's going on with those systems. All right, so from here we'll go back to our diagnostics menu, click that home button there at the bottom of the screen. Let's take a look at our Saved Reports menu option. So down here on the left corner, we'll select Saved Reports. And what this is going to do is bring up our database of all the saved reports from previous vehicles that we've serviced with our Hunter ADASLink. So in this case, we see our 2024 Escape from today, making our video here, and the different special tests and reports that we have saved for this particular vehicle. And if I want to view any of these previous reports, all I have to do is go to the report I want to view and select the View button. In this case, we're going to use the Adobe Reader here on the tablet to take a look at that PDF. And we can see here on that special test report, we've got information on the day and time that this was performed, some VIN information, year, make, and model for the vehicle, and then information about the test that this was gathered from. So in this case, it was that integrated parking brake test that was incomplete since we did back out of that without completing it. So to return back to our Save Reports menu, we'll hit the back button, and we can scroll through. We can also see previous vehicles in here as well. In this case, even dating back to our 2021 Toyota Camry that we performed service on back in March of 2022. So this menu does go back quite a ways, and it saves quite a bit of information for the technician. So let's scroll back up here to the top. And let's say I want to put some information together into kind of one full vehicle report. To do that, I can go to the left-hand side and select my reports that I want to add into a full vehicle systems report. We'll scroll back up to the top and we'll click Generate Vehicle Systems Report. Click Generate Report. Now we can see right here up at the top we've got that Vehicle Systems Report. We can click View. And now we can see we've got multiple things here in our Vehicle Systems Report. In this case, we put together that integrated parking brake service special test and that grille shutter special test into one report. So we'll return back to our menu from there. So let's say I want to share that Vehicle Systems Report with a customer or maybe an insurance adjuster, shop manager, anything like that. We can go to the Share button here. And what's great about ADASLink is we are able to share that through many different avenues. So we can share that via Gmail. If I have a Gmail account set up here, I can send that to a Google Drive or a OneDrive, an Outlook account, even a network printer if I've got a network printer available as well too. So we'll return back to our menu there. and then we'll go ahead and hit our back button again. So from there on our diagnostics menu, one of the final things we'll take a look at is the web browser. So from our diagnostics menu, we're going to select web browser. And this is going to open up some quick links to repair information. So if you have an existing subscription to any of those on-screen service providers here, we can hot link that subscription right here on the tool. So let's say I have an AllData account. I can select the AllData icon. This will take me directly to the AllData website, where I can go ahead and sign in directly there to the AllData website to access that service information. So the other great thing with this as well too is, similarly, if I have access to OEM information, I can link directly to that service information right here on this page as well. So in the beauty of the web browser as well, I can go directly to Google. So if I need to go look up a part number, or if I need to find some more information on a vehicle, I can do that directly from the Google search tab right here on the tablet as well. So returning to our diagnostics menu, let's go take a look at the apps shortcut button. So from our menu, we'll select apps shortcut, and then we'll select all other apps. This is where I can go and open up those other Android apps that are available here on the ADASLink. So we'll return back to our diagnostics menu. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of kind of the basic tools and features available here on ADASLink, particularly when we're looking at this as a scan tool. So for more information on this product and all of our products, check out our website, hunter.com. And for more tips and tricks on operating our equipment, check out our Hunter Learning channel on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.